Man, just when you think Microsoft could not get any worse, they somehow managed to get even worse. So, if you're asking if things can get any worse in the gaming industry, at this point, man, the answer will always be yes. Things will only get even worse for the gaming industry. So I just got back home from work a couple of minutes ago and I saw this news story completely blow up and it's been taking the internet by storm. And it seems like literally everybody online is just losing their goddamn marbles and they're just absolutely beyond furious with Microsoft, and rightfully so. And this is all got to do with Microsoft increasing the price point for their Game Pass. So, I've talked about Microsoft increasing the price point of their products before, when they increased the price of their Xbox consoles, their Xbox games, and then they had to backtrack on that with the Outer Worlds 2, but they increased the price point of all their Xbox accessories like controllers and headsets and so on. But now they're increasing the price point for Xbox Game Pass. And literally, nobody is happy with this decision. Not a single person is happy with this. So, Microsoft has increased the price point for some of their Game Pass benefits from $15 to $30. So, it comes within, I believe, a three-step plan now for Game Pass where you got like your tier 1 for Game Pass, which is $10 a month, and then you got your premium tier, which is $15 a month, and then they have the ultimate plan, which is the top tier benefit, which you get $30 a month. Okay, so let's do a bit of quick math here, right? So $30 for 1 month seems a little okay, but it's a little pricey. I'm not the biggest fan of that price point, but let's go for 3 months, right? $30 for 3 months, that would be a total of $90, correct? So let's go over, let's say, 6 months now for $30. That would be up to $180 for just half a year, right? For Xbox Game Pass. But if we go for like a whole year of Xbox Game Pass, that would be 12 months, right? So $30 every 12 months, right? That would lead up to, I think, a total of $360 a year. $360. Let me actually just pull up my calculator and double check to make sure I got the math right, because I am not good at mental math. Okay, so I did pull up my calculator on my phone, and I was right. 12 months is a total of $360. So I did 30 times 12, and that is a total of 360. That is absolutely insane. $360 for a whole year. That is ridiculous for Xbox Game Pass. And as a matter of fact, I've heard reports that there have been thousands of people on Xbox that have outright canceled their subscription because of this anti-consumer move. Because that's what it comes down to. Anti-consumerism and corporate greed. Now, you could make the argument and try to tell me, well, Nightwing, video games are going to get more expensive now. Every game costs like $70, so it's pretty beneficial to get these games on Game Pass because Game Pass is $30 a month and a lot of video games are like $70 to $80. Now, I do want to play the devil's advocate here for a second. Now, I can understand that argument and I can understand the reasoning behind it for Xbox Game Pass because some people think it can help save them a lot of money. They can try out the games on Game Pass for just $30 a month because they think it would be beneficial for them. I can understand that. But at the end of the day, by people allowing this to happen and by allowing them to walk all over the consumer like this, you're basically allowing Xbox to just get away with this kind of anti-consumer behavior, and this is just not acceptable. Now, I have a couple of buddies that have Xbox, and we play video games together through crossplay. And some of my friends that I play video games with, they even came out and told me that they're just going to stop supporting Microsoft's Game Pass subscription outright entirely. They're going to cancel it, and they're just going to go and buy their games physically now, simply because Microsoft ruined Xbox Game Pass with their price increase. And I gotta say, man, like, I feel bad for everybody who has Xbox Game Pass because they're the ones that are getting screwed over with this price increase. Like I said earlier in this video, it's bad enough that Microsoft has increased the prices of their products not once, but twice now, but it's getting even worse now to the point where Microsoft is increasing the price of Xbox Game Pass, and people have been getting absolutely angry with Microsoft over this. Now, if you're someone who plays on like a PlayStation or a Nintendo console, or if you just play on PC, you're basically out of this one scot free. Like, you'll be fine. But if you're someone that has an Xbox and you use Xbox Game Pass, then you're basically gonna get screwed over here. Now, you could also make the argument and try to tell me, well, Nightwing, it's because inflation is out of control, or it's because of tariffs, and they gotta keep up with the market. Like, dude, it's not just about tariffs. It's not just about inflation. Like, this is pure corporate greed at its finest, and they're just making excuses just so they could squeeze more money out of you as a consumer of the product. They seriously expect you to just follow them through blind will and trust because at the end of the day, they just want to squeeze as much money out of you as possible. And no matter what happens, they expect you to follow them through hell and back, through any means necessary, even if it means screwing you over at the end of the day. Like, this is just a crazy situation unfolding with Microsoft, and it just seems like every time they make a corporate move, it only gets worse and worse. I mean, PlayStation has already increased their prices earlier this year. Microsoft has also increased their prices. Nintendo's increasing their prices. The gaming industry as a whole has been getting more and more expensive, and it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. And I personally feel like more people need to speak out against these companies and take a stand against these companies and send them a message, even if it means canceling your subscriptions and telling them we're not supporting this anymore because you're being anti-consumer. Like, it's just a wild situation overall, man. And like I've already said, I feel like more people need to call out these companies and they need to stand firm and send them a message, even if that means canceling their subscription service outright entirely. And the only way you're going to get these companies to listen to you is if they take a massive plummet in their stock values. That is the only way you will get these companies to listen to you. That is the only way. There is no other way. If corporations understand one language, it's money. It's that simple. I said this before when Nintendo was getting backlash for their Switch 2 before the console launched, and I'm going to say it here as well. If you want Microsoft to listen to you, speak with your wallets and tell them, no, you're not going to be supporting Xbox Game Pass anymore. So you can take a massive fall off with your stock values, and your shareholders and investors will get angry at you for not listening to the consumer. This is just a wild situation unfolding with Microsoft, man, and it just seems like it's gonna get even worse every single year. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening, and until next time, I'm talking about Microsoft getting backlash for increasing the prices of Xbox Game Pass, and I will see you all later.